Yes, team. What is up? Today's been a pretty cool day. I've just been at the handover for my first investment property being ready. So this was a decision back in 2022 that I made initial investment for a project that was going to be ready, in 3-4 years time. When you're making that decision, you don't really ever think the day is going to come when the property is yours. So you are almost making a decision on like a lot of delayed gratification, and it's saying to yourself, okay, am I going to thank myself for this in later life? In 3 to 4 years, am I going to be someone who would love to own its own investment property, all paid for, ready for me to move in if I wanted, ready to rent it out, ready to sell it? Is that something I'd love to be in the position to be in the next few years? And the answer was yes. So I was like, okay, can I make this work? Can I make the payment plan that they have for the off plan? Can I make it happen? And if the answer was yes, I was like, okay, I don't have much other answers right now. I don't have much other information. I don't know what it's like to own a property here and rent it out, and I'm sure there's loads of things that come with it, but I have time to figure that out. And I'll probably never feel fully ready. I'll probably never go away and learn that information if I didn't have a reason to, if I didn't put pressure on myself. So it was just making a decision back then that said, okay, I can make this work in the short term in terms of what I needed to put down, and I'm going to back myself that when I owe the remaining 50% to the property upon completion, that I'll be able to do it. That's not going to be a major issue. That's essentially how it went. So just to talk people through what that kind of like payment plan looks like. So it is different depending on the project that you do. So it's the one that I invested in. It was a 20% down payment. So that's, if you think about the whole price of the unit or whatever property you're paying for, 20% of it cash, you need a bank transfer it. So the thing with off plan, it can be a really, really good return on investment, but the barrier to entry for them is definitely higher because it's not something you can mortgage. So when the property is ready for handover, like it is for me now, this is the time where you can actually mortgage it. But before then, you have to pay cash for it essentially. So 20% down, then 6 months later was another 20% payment. And this was even things I was learning at this time. Would you believe back then, I was keeping a lot of my money in euro, but I was paying for the property in dirham. So I had to move the equivalent amount of money through 6 months later in dirham. I imagine it cost me an extra 7,000 euro just based on how the exchange rate went with the currency. So that was like a lesson for me there, expensive lesson. But anyway, 6 months later was 10%. So that's 50% of the property fully paid for. And then there's 50% upon completion, which I did back in December. So I could have tried to mortgage for that. Just with being out in Dubai, it's really challenging. Like I couldn't even get finance on a car. They don't really want to hear from you when you say you own your own business, it's online, you don't actually have an office. I tell them my apartment's my office. So I do think, because I have another off plan ready in 2027, which is 70% owed on completion, and it's the property value is over twice as much. So I really want to mortgage that. And to be fair, this from a cash flow perspective would have made more sense. It was just manageable enough for me to be able to pay off, but I wouldn't be advising that to people, or I don't think it's necessarily a flex. I even think that when it comes to like financing cars, like my car is in finance, I have it fully paid for. But like, put it this way, so if you had the money to pay for it outright, but you decided not to because you're wanting to kind of be more clever with your cash flow and using other means, that is usually a smart decision to make. Where I think financing can get a bad rap is if people don't actually have the money to afford something and they're living beyond their means. Then I understand why it can be spoken down to. But like, to be honest, I wish I could have financed my car instead of paying for it. It would have been nice if the property was an easy way to get mortgage. I didn't have to pay for that. It would have been a lot better for me from a cash flow perspective. But it is what it is. I'm now at a point where car is fully paid for, apartment's fully paid for. But yeah, not something I always want to be relying on. So for the next one in 2027, the goal is definitely to have ability to mortgage that. So I'm just being clever with like salaries and stuff that I'm paying myself. That's a bit of a different tangent, but really, really happy with how the property looked today. Gorgeous facilities, gym was massive, really like the pool. There's actually a cool indoor pool room as well. So yeah, facilities are really nice. just the whole area is really nice. So yeah, very exciting. Coming at you from Koh Samui, Thailand. It's Sunday, I think it's April 5th. Yeah, April 5th, so Easter Sunday. And yeah, I'm like an hour away from heading to the airport, doing Koh Samui to Phuket, and then back to Dubai tonight. I arrived in just before midnight, straight back into things tomorrow. We just spent the last few days in Koh Samui with friends, celebrating my 30th birthday, Hayden's birthday, and yeah, just having a really, really good time. Great to come here. I have friends of mine who used to live in Dubai who live out here. So Hayden and Sophie moved from the UK to Koh Samui back in January. Tom and Aston, really good friends of mine, have been out here nearly 2 years, I think, over 2 years. And also Ralph and Emily have moved out from Dubai to here as well. So really, really nice to come out, have some good time with everyone, but also excited to get back to routine and kind of getting back into things. April has been off to a really good start in a lot of ways. Obviously, at the start of the month, having the handover for the property, then coming out here. Obviously, just before coming out here, my car got hit again, second time. And it's funny, the place that I get the car wrapped, I would like, they deal with so many cars every week, and they're like, you're the first person that has had their car hit twice, but by like in this short space of time, like this never happens. So yeah, it's just unfortunate luck. But Sophie actually said something at dinner last night. She said sometimes the universe will give like the toughest challenges to its toughest soldiers, and it's maybe just a sign that you're seeing what you can take and stuff like that. So yeah, that's something I'm always working on as well. Like something I take a lot of pride in is like, okay, how can I deal with this situation in the most calm, kindest way possible? And yeah, that's something I've improved on massively over the last few years. But also, I think it comes back to respect that you get shown. So if someone shows respect to me, I show respect back to them. So like the person who hit into my car, they left their number and everything with the gym. So straight away, my mindset going into the situation is a lot different. So yeah, anyway, not the end of the world. Car's a car, things happen, we move. So yeah, I'm actually excited coming back in my 30s, new chapter. So off to a positive start overall. Yeah, that's about it. Currently en route to Rap Style Dubai to pick up my car. It's been 2 weeks since my car got hit. So I came out to a message from someone in the gym. I was actually in the coffee shop having a conversation with a personal trainer in the gym. He wanted to like start doing online coaching. I said I'd sit with him, I'd have a chat. Finish up the chat, I was walking out to the car, a message pops up that my car has been hit. So I went out, saw the damage. That night I was flying to Thailand, so not ideal on the day you're about to travel. So I brought the car to where I got the car wrapped, and they were saying to me, for your job side, the red to black fade, they were like, for that, it's actually our European headquarters, so we'll have to order it in, and there's a bit of a delay on shipment, so like we don't know how long it's going to take. They're kind of saying, you know, it could be a month or so before we get it, and then we have to do it. And then the owner was like, would you not just like get a new color? And I was like, I was kind of thinking about that as well. So I think I got that initial wrap done in June, July time. So there was a part of me like, oh, is this a sign just to get a new colour? So instead of just repairing the front bumper where I'd have got the hit, I decided to fully wrap the car and get a new colour. So I'm en route to do that now, and I'll show you. Yes, team, what is up? Okay, coming at you 1st of May. Good time to kind of sit down and reflect on April and the month that was. So feel like a lot happened, but a lot didn't happen. One of those kind of months, if you can any bit relate. Overall, really, really good month. I would even say probably the best month of 2026 so far, just in terms of like everything kind of clicking nicely in place. Also, without there being any kind of like significant, obviously like the mastermind and stuff in February, like that's huge, but for a month just to be like, hey, there's not that much happening outside of kind of like the normal day-to-day stuff. Overall, I think it's been a really, really positive month on all fronts, and to be honest, one that actually started a small bit turbulent for me, which just a few like personal things I had to iron out. I think in terms of the bounce back from that I had, I'm very proud of myself in terms of that, and kind of dealing with things and managing things, and you know, moving forward in the best way possible. So overall, really good month. A few things. So one, We sold out our program this month, and doing so with the Empire cadence that we implement with clients. So for me, a big thing is like always leading from the front. So if I'm talking through my clients about a operating system that they can use, which if they do, they'll be able to sell out their coaching month after month, something we went through at the mastermind, something we've taught clients who've come in since then or who didn't obviously make it to the mastermind. So us doing that ourselves and being able to sell out our own program is obviously huge for me in terms of like, okay, leading from the front and showing the way of what's possible, and clients having incredible results inside the community as well. Like some clients who've just joined having big months, some clients who are a few months in, and even clients who are with us over a year. Big shout out to Kean, just actually checked out his win in our community today. Had like 18 clients signed up plus 2 deposits put down, so like 20 clients in total signing up for the month, which is absolutely massive. But not just that, like the business owner and leader he's becoming. So really fulfilling things on a personal level with how my business is growing, seeing friends and clients of mine grow and progress is amazing. So yeah, all positive on that front. I think from a social aspect as well, a month I really enjoyed. Started last, I think, 3 Wednesdays in a row. I've gone to a high rock session with a few of the guys on a Wednesday, which has been really nice. Instead of me just taking rest there, going for a run myself, actually putting myself in an environment with a few other guys and doing that style of session. That's been big for me. Another few guys I've been meeting up for a run on Sunday. We did that for a few weeks in April. Got to celebrate my birthday in Dubai with amazing friends. We went to Opa Greek restaurant here, which was super fun. That was really nice. Obviously, the start of the month I was in Thailand celebrating my birthday, but yeah, just everything since then has been great. Really positive month overall. Looking forward to bringing you into May. We'll probably be cranking up, getting ready for the Portugal Mastermind in July. Preparation needs to go into that. So I have the villa booked. Need to get into moving with that. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it was entertaining in some bits. If there's something you'd like me kind of going through into May, please let me know. Like, I think if someone says, I'd love you to film this or talk about this, 100% I will. Kez always telling me, but that's like your mom telling you to do something. Like, yeah, okay. Guys, I'm only joking if you're listening. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.